been a minute. Our milestones have happened. The world seems to be going crazy right now, but I bet you if you change your focus, it won't seem quite so bad. I got married. It's been, what, a month and a day? Got married August 17th. And it's been an eventful month so far. And I will say this, if you aren't willing to go on a self-improvement journey and be, prepared to change yourself for the better, change your circumstances for the better, if you want to stay stagnant, then marriage may not be for you. But man, there's a lot of great things happening in my life. I see it. I've been learning a whole lot more about money and finances and investing, where to put my money, because the goal is to buy back my time. So I'm not reporting to a job every day. I can, live the life of leisure that I see for myself. I'm reading a book now called Infinity Investing. In the book, the guy who wrote it, his father worked for like a Fortune, I guess he's called a Fortune 100 company. And he had a friend whose dad wasn't in the corporate world, but he was a businessman and an investor. And the friend's dad was just always a lot more happier, this a more vibrant guy. And it's because, he had his money set up to where he was moving how he wanted to move. He wasn't required to show up to a place every day for a certain amount of time. Say what you want about Dame Dash and his Breakfast Club interviews. He's dropping some gems when it comes to that. He told those guys, he told Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy, he said, man, y'all got to be here at 4 o'clock every day in a coffin. And it kind of makes sense. Like, they don't have any ownership in that. Not really. And that's not something they can pass down that equity to their children. So, yeah. Is it worth it? Yo, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. What's up? I'm just out here by my the pool in my apartment complex enjoying this sunlight. I think our ability to stand in the sun is a superpower. Yo, what's going on, GTA? Thank y'all for tuning in. And I don't even like wearing sunscreen, but I really feel like this sun has been different since we had that solar eclipse a few years ago. Or our bodies are going to adapt to it. We're made for it. Children of the sun. Of course, have y'all been witnessing what's been going on with if you say something bad about Charlie Kirk, they're really getting people out of here. Jimmy Kimmel, his show got canceled because he made a joke in reference to Charlie Kirk. This is I feel like this is something else that they've pulled out to divide the nation, keep us fighting amongst ourselves. Because again, I wasn't even really that aware of Charlie Kirk. I would only see clips of things that he's saying on college campuses to children, debating them. But I am a proponent of free speech, so people have to be able to be free to say whatever they want. And that goes both ways. So it's kind of funny. You have one side saying, no, you can't be mad at Charlie Kirk because he was saying things that you didn't agree with. But now you have people on the other side who are, they're making light of his death. And that's freedom of speech. You gotta have the freedom of speech to let people say the things you don't agree with as well. Now, how do you respond to that? Can you engage them in a debate? Okay, you say your idea, I say my idea. We have a meaningful exchange, or are we to the point now, if you don't agree with everything that I say, then we gotta be enemies? And that's a precarious place to be in. For all my Star Wars fans out there, you remember in Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan and Anakin getting ready to fight, and they're talking to each other, and Anakin says, either you're with me or you're against me. And Obi-Wan said only a Sith deals in absolutes. And what's crazy is that they're both not seeing how they're at the extremes of that. What Obi-Wan said was an absolute. Only Siths deal in absolutes. And he pulled out his lightsaber. He was ready to fight. Somebody says, do any fishing? I have never been fishing before in my life, but the people who are avid fishers, they all say how peaceful and how relaxing it is. So that is something that I want to do. Somebody says, I don't want to say that. I ask you to say things on here, and it's like, okay, are you trying to chop this up and use AI or something? But yeah, do it. It's relaxing. Okay. I live in Florida, so I know I have the opportunity to go out and fish in a bunch of places. I want to go out in the ocean and do some fishing. I walk in these gas stations and you'll see like these magazines that are dedicated to people catching fish and showing what they caught. I saw a mahi for the other day, and it kind of blew my mind because I eat mahi, and I was like, yo, that's what that looks like? Had no idea. I guess I should look that up more often. What exactly am I eating? Like Chilean sea bass, mahi. Yeah, what does that look like, the whole fish? Because it's very colorful. You're in the Tampa area. I got married in the Tampa area in Safety Harbor. There's it's called Harborside Chapel. Very beautiful place. My fiance, my wife found it on TikTok. But yeah, Tampa is dope. Went out in Ebro City for my bachelor party. Went to a cigar lounge. That was pretty cool. Went out to a strip club. Went bar hopping. The strip club was fun, but it was fun. Am I still alive?